if we're going to be pulled away by big corporate fat cats in New York to worry about big business and only worry about job creators, or by those who want to abandon the moral cultural issues in our party, what is left is a shell that has no chance of reclaiming our country. I needed to come to Iowa to tell you, because you get to see all these guys coming through here. You get to have an impact on what they're saying and what they're thinking. Up here in Northwest Iowa, I know how important you are. You don't have to tell me, Cody. The 34-vote margin was here and then some. This was our best county, Lyon County. No offense to the other three. We got 68% in this county. And I thank you for that. But you can have an impact. But you got to want it. How did the left accomplish what they accomplished? You got any survey over the last 50 years. Any survey. Since the 1970s, since Reagan, last 30 years. And you'll find that conservatives in every national poll outnumber liberals 2-1 in this country. No question. It moves a little bit, maybe a little less than 2-1, sometimes a little more than 2-1, but it's always around that, 40-20. So it's not like we're arguing from a position of weakness. Yet our party is always the one thinking about how we have to retreat.
That's right.
How did they accomplish what they accomplished in moving the needle in this country when they represent 20% of the population? How do they do it? The same way we won the American Revolution. We won the American Revolution not because there were more of us than there was of them, as far as people in the military. They had bigger armies, better equipped armies, they had better leadership, they had unlimited resources. We had none of those things. Washington pleaded with people to stay in the army when their conscriptions ran out. How did we win? Because we wanted it more. We were hungry. Because we were willing, as our founders said, to mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. That's how we won. And that's how they won. The folks on the left live what they believe. You doubt that? Ask any business person here. If you do something to cross the left, the price you pay as a business. They make you pay that price. You don't see one big business in America, and if they do, like a Chick-fil-A or a Hobby Lobby, they hammer them. And they don't give up in spite of the press. They come after them until they make it so painful that whether Chick-fil-A backs away, everybody else will, because they don't want the fight. What do? We're nice people. Oh, we can't do that. That's not nice. We have some in our party say, adopt the policies of the left. I say, adopt the tactics of the left. Fight. Fight in your schools. Fight for your family. Fight in the culture. Fight in politics. I may have told this story, but I'll say it again because I so believe it. Governor Rouse mentioned the greatest generation, and Tom Brokaw, I know, is from up that way. He wrote about the greatest generation. But let's look at the greatest generation. In June of 1940, when when France fell, and the Battle of Britain started to begin, Winston Churchill went on the radio, and you may remember this speech he gave about if Britain should last, the empire should last for 1,000 years. This will be our finest hour. In that speech, he asked for America's help. And we said no. Oh, we did lend-lease. We sent some money. But Europe was in darkness. Any idea that people think today that we didn't know what and who Hitler was, that's a joke. Of course we knew who Hitler was. We knew the evil that he was. And yet, we sat and did virtually nothing. The greatest generation. People tried to cajole the American public into getting involved in the war. There was a huge peace movement that led to a vote in the House of Representatives a year after the fall of France, after the Battle of Britain, after England almost fell. And by one vote, the Congress failed to repeal the draft because that's what they wanted to do, to make it even harder for America to get in. The greatest generation. I share this with you because it is typical American to think that things are going to be okay. That if we just keep our head down, provide for our families, take care of things, that things are going to be all right in America. Why? Because generally speaking, that's the way it works. America's been around for a few hundred years, which sounds like a long time, but it isn't. And it won't be. As our folks of the greatest generation eventually found out, unless you make the sacrifices to keep that freedom when your country needs you. It became apparent after Pearl Harbor that things were not going to be okay. And they shook America's cage, and they rued the day they did that. Are the people of the greatest generation greater than you, more courageous than you, love America more than you, have more virtue than you? I don't think so. They just rose to meet the occasion when their country needed them. Ladies and gentlemen, your country needs you. They need the good people of Northwest Iowa. They need the values of this community. You need to take on the challenge, whatever that challenge is. I know you're saying, well, what can I do? You know what I did? I prayed about it. I asked God, let me know what I can do. I have no idea. After I got out of the presidential race, I said, you know what? Maybe it's just time to go back home. And Karen and I prayed a lot about it. We decided we just weren't going to walk away after saying that this was the most important election in our country's history. I wasn't going to say, well, it isn't anymore because I'm not on the ballot. So we started an organization called Patriot Voices. We've been active and involved in trying to organize politically around the country to try to help lobby in Washington, D.C. and campaign in states and for federal and state offices. I prayed some more, and this opportunity came from nowhere to get involved in the popular culture. Funny thing about the Lord, when you say, hey, Lord, I'm here willing to help, He usually gives you something to do. But you got to really mean you want to help. You got to really open your heart to pray. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't know what you're supposed to do. All I know is that if you don't, we may be the generation that lost the greatest country in the history of the world. I have faith in you. I do. I know the people of Iowa. I've spent my time. I know what you're capable of. I believe in you. Go out and make a difference. Let Iowa speak, not just in caucuses, but let it speak in every aspect of American life and make a difference. Thank you. God bless you.